Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the invite to the conference. Before I start on the presentation, I just wanted to give a short introduction to u-blox and who we are and basically what we do and stand for. So we're in the industry of wireless technology for IoT. Of course, IoT can mean many different things. But here, what we kind of stand for is providing the building blocks behind people like you who make interesting, would say, technology and products. So the GNSS, the connectivity, etc.
谢谢大家。首先，我非常感谢Hex Technology 能够邀请我来参加此次的大会。那么，首先开场呢，我想先介绍一下u-blox 以及我自己。那么 u-blox 本身呢是在无线互联网这个领域已经深耕多年，它主要是为像你们这种大众消费者以及开发者提供一个好的平台，能够创造出更多无线物联网的产品。
This can mean anything from security cameras, wearables, cars, industrial automation. But today it's about one of my more favorite topics, and that's about how this is in robotics.
无线物联网可以是从安全摄像头到工业智能、工业自动化等等各种的领域。那么接下来我将会继续重点阐述这些功能。
So u-blox has been lucky enough to be successful in a lot of navigation products in technology, in automotive and in robotics like UAVs.
u-blox 曾经在导航领域取得了非常好的成就。那么这个领域呢，主要是自主的无人机或者无人车的导航系统上。
And what we've noticed is that basically anything which wants to navigate itself over the years has started to have more and more demand towards automation. Now we separate here fully autonomous driving and topics like that, which of course are very visible and very famous, but let's face it, a little bit far out.
那么我们发现的是呢，在所有的产品所有需要导航的产品中呢，我们发现都有一个越来越需要自动化这样的趋势。那么在接下来演讲中，我会暂时先不讨论自动驾驶相关的领域，因为我觉得这个领域还需要更多的时间。
To other, would say, for me, for more real applications such as ground and air robotics, which really, the more that you take the human out of the navigation loop, the higher the accuracy of navigation sensors are required.
那么一个经验之谈是，如果我们想要在导航设备中把人为的控制因素剔除的越强的话呢，那么我们所需要的高精度的传感器就需要越来越精确。
And already you can see these types of technologies around today in UAVs, but also even more surprising applications out there already exist, such as garden robots. Delivery is a up-and-coming topic, etc.
那么我已经在 UAV 无人机的产品中看到了很多需要高精度的传感器的例子。那么更令人惊讶的是，在很多其他的产品中也出现了，比如说地面机器人，或者是其他一些产品中。
When we look specifically at the robotics applications, they do face a lot of challenges for navigation. For example, when you look at ground robots or UAVs, in the end user, there is no control over where they're used. It has to work everywhere.
那么我们发现在我们观察到的所需要导航的产品中呢，他们比如说无人机它需要在很多场景中都可以自主的运行，那么就需要对导航产品的要求非常高。
It has to, of course, be at a sensible cost level for adoption, of course, be easy to integrate, and of course, being global deployable. And what we mean by this is not just a kind of sales pitch behind it, but this technology must be able to scale. Otherwise, the navigation element inside robotics will limit the growth of the industry.
那么所提供的产品呢，必须要 可以大规模的被使用，它需要有精确的测量，同时又需要有非常用户友好性，同时又能够在不同的场景下使用。我并不是要在这里要做任何的广告的宣传，而是说对于我们需要导航的产品的产品来说呢，我们需要非常高的要求对于导航的产品。
High precision GNSS technologies do play a strong part of this, but they're not alone. Other high precision navigation sensors are required in order to be able to navigate everywhere from inside a city, in an urban canyon, to in a woods, to in a big open field somewhere.
高精度的 GNSS 系统在整个导航系统中占据了非常重要的作用，但是同时我们也需要其他的高精度的传感器来搭配完成这样的导航的工作，以使得导航可以在各种环境下进行。
However, high precision GNSS technologies versus the standalone GNSS technologies that you've been used to before, the ones which are 2 to 5 meters accurate, are quite different.
但是高精度的 GNSS 系统和我们之前常用的标准的 GNSS 系统，那些通常有2到5米精度的系统来相比的话呢，有非常大的不同。
And previously, the standalone technologies just needed the GNSS hardware and an antenna in order to kind of operate.
在普通的 GNSS 系统中呢，一般只需要一个 GNSS 的接收器和一个 GNSS 天线来进行工作。
However, high precision requires changes on the GNSS hardware itself, but also requires a constant correction service in order to operate. This means you need permanent reference stations across an entire country or continent. You need to formulate that into correcting the key errors, and of course distribute that over either the internet IP, whether that's cellular, Wi-Fi, whatever technology you want to use, or via technologies such as satellite communication, Inmarsat. That of course then implies on the design itself, you also need to then have connectivity. This makes the situation a little bit more complicated for the design.
在高精度的 GNSS 系统中呢，就有很大的不同。那么首先，我们需要对高精度的 GNSS 的接收器进行硬件的更换，而且不仅如此，我们还需要本地支持的 GNSS 的不断的修正服务。需要提供这样的修正服务呢，就需要本地 GNSS 的修正的一个网络。那么这个网络就需要这个修正服务提供一个一直持续不断的服务。那么同时，这个服务还需要通过一个连接的方式，一个通信的方式传给我们的高精度的 GNSS 接收器。那么这个接收器的传输的方式可以是通过互联网 IP 的方式，或者是卫星导航的方式。因此，我们在我们的 GNSS 的系统上面还需要一个connectivity hardware， 就是连接的一个这样的设备，来使得它能够和网络互联。
However, high precision technologies have actually existed for many years, but they've been very much focused on niche markets such as surveying, which is of course very niche, very expensive, and not very scalable. The challenge here for the industry is to all this line needs to align towards what we call scalable mass market technologies. That means the size, the power, the cost of the entire solution needs to be aligned in order for it to work.
高精度的系统GNSS 系统已经存在了很多年，但是它主要存在于一些非常专业的领域，比如说测绘领域。因此目前在这些高精度的 GNSS 的应用上面都不能非常大规模的被使用。因此我们所需要做的就是把所有的这一套的流程都能够整合成一个完整的服务，使得它能够被大规模的使用。
And this is uBlox's contribution to this chain in the GNSS hardware is the uBlox F9 platform. I won't spend too much time on this, but this is basically our latest platform is multiband GNSS high precision technologies, very much targeted at all the applications that we mentioned before, but making sure that the navigation is possible anywhere and is scalable.
那么 uBlox 公司对于目前这个导航 的挑战所做出的贡献，就是提供了我们现在最新的 u-blox 的 F9 芯片。那么这个芯片是一个高精度多频段的一个 GNSS 的接收器。那么它可以在各种不同的场景下被使用，同时可以进行大规模的使用。那么我不会在这个上面做太多的讲解。
However, you'll never be able to get the performance that you need without a correction service of some kind. And this complicates things because the correction service industry is still going through some changes. And when you're selecting it, the problem is, which service do you need? What type, what accuracy, what cost, what bandwidth? Do I have coverage? For example, you want to have an application that works in the US and China. You can't have a single correction service. You need multiple services from multiple vendors in order to be able to do this.
那么高精度的导航系统不仅仅只需要它本身的硬件，同时还需要一个不断提供的修正的服务。因此，在选择这个修正的服务的过程中呢，你就会遇到很多的问题。比如说，你需要怎么样的性能？比如说需要什么样的连接的设备？比如说需要什么样的带宽？这些问题都会在选择的过程中出现。那么现在目前的情况是没有一套非常完整的修正服务的系统能够提供给所有的用户，并且可以在不同的国家和大洲进行使用。因此，每当到不同的地方的时候，你都要采用不同的修正服务。
So the next section we talk about the trends on the correction service side. So not the things that u-blox are doing directly, but what the ecosystem is doing around us.
那么接下来我将要讨论的是在这个修正服务的所进化的过程中的一些趋势。这并不是我们 u-blox 公司本身所在做的一些事情，而是一些市场上所进行的一个变化的趋势。
So GNSS correction services fall into two categories. We have the observation state representation, which is OSR, and we have the state space representation, SSR. Now, without going into the details here about what they basically are corrections in order to remove key GNSS errors such as clocks, orbits, biases, troposphere, ionosphere. In essence, they're two different ways of solving the same problem.
那么GNSS 的主要的修正服务呢，主要包含两个主要的方式，一个是 OSR 方式，这就是观测状态表达方式，以及状态空间表达方式。这两个表达方式呢，我不会再过多的进行讲解，但是它主要是进行表达 GNSS 在传输的过程中所产生的一些误差的表达方式，比如说在进入平流层、大气层的时候所造成的一些误差，就可以用这样的一个表达方式，这两种表达方式中的某一种去进行表达。
And without a source of corrections, of course, the receiver is not able to achieve the centimeter level performance that it needs.
当然，如果没有这个修正服务进行提供我们这样的一个误差的表达方式的话呢，我们就没办法达到真正高精度的 GNSS 的定位。
So, you look on this side, you see the observation state representation. How this works is you have a network of GNSS stations, for example, across China. Your vehicle, in this case, say it's a UAV, not the car that's on the picture, sends its location to a server. And it finds 5 or 6 of the nearest reference stations around that vehicle, and it models the ionosphere, troposphere errors, and then it corrects the GNSS observations of the nearest reference station receiver, and it sends a unique correction service to that vehicle.
左边的这一种表达方式呢，就是 OSR 观测状态表达方式。那么这种表达方式的工作方式呢，是你的本身的无人车或者无人机将你的 GNSS 的信号传输给本地的一个服务器。那么在你的本地呢，会有几十个本地设置的 GNSS 的基站。那么这个服务器会接收附近的几个 GNSS 基站的信号，并且对你的 GNSS 接收器 的一些误差进行模拟和进行建模，那么同时产生你的 GNSS 接收器的更精确的位置。当产生了这个更精确的位置之后，它会通过连接服务把这个位置发送回给你的汽车或者是无人机。
So that's one service for one UAV, 10 unique services point to point to 10 UAVs, a million services to a million UAVs, and a very unhappy mobile network operator.
那么这样所造成的结果就是，针对于你每一个无人机或者是每一个使用 GNSS 系统的车辆来说呢，都需要一个单独的服务。那么同时，如果你有10辆车，就会需要10个服务；100辆就会需要100个这样的服务。那么所造成的就是一个非常庞大的系统和一个非常开心的本地网络的提供商，他会赚到很多钱。
The accuracy is very good. However, the coverage is generally very only local on a country basis. The bandwidth is high, which has an impact on data costs. And of course, the mobile network operator is not happy for this intense two-way communication for millions of units. And in addition, the business model behind these is targeted towards surveying. So it's the $1,000 per device per year, which when you're looking at then markets that want to adopt it like automotive is clearly not doable.
那么这一种 OSR 的方式呢，并不是一个可以大规模使用的方式。那么它主要的使用的领域是在测绘的领域，并且它的单一的服务所提供的就需要非常庞大的资金，因此它并不是一个可以在大众的领域进行大规模使用的一个方式。
On the other side, we have what's called the state space representations. Now, the major difference here is in the way that the correction service is formed and transmitted. The reference station infrastructure is the same. But what happens is instead of modeling just for a local area, you make a model of the errors, the troposphere, ionosphere, clocks and orbits over vast area, such as a continent.
那么在这个 PPT 右边呢，就是这个 SSR 状态空间表达方式。那么与之前的那个OSR 的表示类似的是呢，它也需要一个本地的一个基站的服务。那么就是说你也需要本地设立一个基站的设备。但是呢，它与之前的 OSR 不同的地方在于，它将你这个一块区域以内的一个状态误差状态呢，用同样的方式去表达。就是说，你整个比如说一个大洲或者是一个国家内的误差，都可以用所有的基站去进行模拟，从而产生一个修正服务。
So this means it can be put into a broadcast format. So that means one stream for one UAV, one stream for 100 UAVs, one stream for a million UAVs. So this is a very scalable correction service to mass market applications.
那么这样的一个方式的好处是，它可以产生仅仅是一条消息就可以使用在多个 UAV 上面。它可以使用同样的一条消息给一架 UAV 或者是10架或者是更多，因为它只产生了一条修正的服务的消息。
And this means that it can also be the bandwidth is lower, so it has less of an impact. It has more of an impact on data costs, and it can go through via IP, but also via satellite communication channels.
这样的好处就在于你只有一条消息链，因此你所需要的通信的带宽就会大大的减少，因此你也可以采用更加低价或者是带宽要求比较小的连接服务，比如说卫星通信或者是 IP 都可以。
So the OSR providers exist today, make money today in surveying and agriculture. We've named a few on here. The one in China is, excuse my pronunciation, Shenzhen. And they provide OSR corrections for China, for example.
那么这张 PPT 里面是目前主要全球有在提供 OSR 这个服务的一些提供商。 那么可以看到一些熟悉的名字。那么针对于中国来说呢，中国有这个千寻卫志这个公司来提供本地的 OSR 修正服务。
They typically offer the service to the end user, i.e. the drone operator, but now they're investing in looking at new business models targeting OEMs and tier ones.
那么目前他们主要是提供服务给一些直接的终端消费者们。那么现在他们也在探索直接提供服务给一些设备厂商，让他们再去提供给终端消费者。
The new service providers, the SSR correction service providers, have just really starting to offer services now. You can see some of the traditional players such as Trimble and Hexagon now already offer these services, including one on the QZSS CLAS in Japan, which is probably one of the more famous ones, but already more and more players start to offer these type of services to the industrial market and automotive market.
那么新的 SSR 的服务提供方式呢，就有一些新的公司正在做这方面的测试。那么有一些你比较熟悉的公司，比如说 Trimble， 以及中国也有千寻卫志在做这方面的测试。那么同时呢，也有更多的公司会加入到这个过程中来。
The performance of the service can differ. So, for example, one of the techniques is called PPP-RTK, and this gives you a very high-level performance of centimeter level in seconds. So it's very quick and very responsive. There is another element to it just called PPP, which offers you decimeter levels in 20 minutes, which, face it, is not very useful for UAVs because your battery has probably run out by then.
那么针对于 SSR 来说，它的性能也有一些区别，因为它所使用的方式也有一些细微的差别。比如说左边这个 PPP-RTK 这样的一个技术呢，它可以使得你的设备在几秒内产生厘米级别的精度。那么右边的这个单纯的 PPP 呢，会在几分钟之内产生分米级别的精度。这样的话，可能不会对你的无人机造成有太多的应用，比如说因为几分钟的时间内，你的无人机可能就没电了。
However, a lot of these players have their own proprietary, we'd say, communication formats, which makes it extremely difficult for U-blocks to support them all in the shorter term.
但是这些提供商的问题在于，他们每一个服务的提供商都有单独的他们自己所有的一个消息的格式，这样使得我们 U-blocks 非常难去提供，可以和他们每一个的修正服务都能够融合进行工作。
However, our F9 platform, we look to support all the different types of technology and not differentiate. It's then up to the design to select which type of service is best for their use. So, for example, we support the legacy OSR services, a local base station connectivity as well, and what we call the safe and precise format SAPR from our partner Sabcorda.
那么，但是我们的F9 芯片在设计之初的初衷就是要能够提供我们的服务可以使用各种的不同的修正服务的提供商，这样的话可以更加大规模的被使用。那么，所以呢，我们的 F9 芯片呢就可以支持原有的 OSR 的服务和 MSM 的修正服务，使用我们的 RTCM V3 版本的这个消息链。那么同时，我们也可以支持本地 U-blocks 或者是第三方自己设立的本地基站，同时也是通过 RTCM 这样的一个标准的消息格式来进行发送的。同时，我们也接收一个更加通用的一个 SAPA 的一个格式，因为很多厂家都在使用这个格式。
In addition, we are actively working to standardize a version of the SAPA format within the industry.
同时，我们也正在紧密的工作，能够提供一个非常标准的一个 SAPA 的一个消息，提供给整个行业进行使用。
So, just to give you an understanding of the difference in performances now, this is where U-block's headquarters is based, here in Talville, next to the Lake of Zurich. Very nice, warm and green.
那么接下来我要展示我们在测试过程中的一些基本的结果。那么这张图所显示的是我们 uBlocks 的总部，在瑞士的总部，在这个湖的旁边，是一个非常好的一个地方。
And we have hired somebody. We have a very large test vehicle with a very high-end Planix IMU inside and GNSS to create a truth. And we hire somebody who pretty much just drives around collecting data all day long. And they drive all the way across here to the St. Gallen region, backwards and forth. And they did this for about an hour and a half.
那么我们有一个非常大的一个测试的一个车辆，同时我们在车辆中也放置了非常非常高精度的 GNSS 和 IMU 融合的一个设备，来当做我们的最精准的一个测量。那么同时我们雇了一些人在我们的瑞士这边一直进行的不间断的测试，像单程的这样的一个测试需要1.5个小时。
And these environments that we drive along, we do this because it contains pretty much almost everything that we need for this. It's not downtown New York, that's not Switzerland, but it has, we'd say, what we call Norman urban areas, 4 to 5 story buildings either side of the road, a nice open motorway, tunnels, and bridges.
那么我们选择这样的一个测试区域，主要是因为它所代表的是一个非常广泛的一个测试区域，它里面所包含的各种的场景是在现实生活中最经常碰到的。比如说，我们有常见的城市区域，周围有很多楼房，同时我们还有地下桥下面，或者是山洞，或者是平坦的公路，这些场景都包含在这整条测试的公路中。
As you can see from the results, so Hexagon SmartNet is an OSR service. It's a VRS service. And here is one of the more, we'd say, the better ones that are out there. And the accuracy here across that entire 1.5 hours in all those environments is, we'd say, in 2 dimensionals, is 4 centimeters at the CEP68.
那么我们可以看到，接下来看到的是一些测试的结果。那么左边这一个是我们使用的本地的 SmartNet VRS 的一个修正服务商。那么我们所测试的结果看到，可以达到4厘米，在2D 的情况下可以达到4厘米的精度，同时在3D 的情况下可以达到6厘米的精度。
Whilst on the other side, we have Sabcorda, which is using a PPP RTK service, so an SSR service. Now this is still in test and development. It will be in production before the end of the year, this service. But here you see that the accuracy, whilst it's larger, is still extremely good for this type. So what Sabcorda do is that they will offer a slightly less quality service to keep their costs low so that they can address a more mass market business model towards the tier 1s and the OEMs.
那么我们在右边这一排可看到的是我们正在使用的 Sabcorda 这个服务。那么这个是我们正在测试的这样的一套系统，我们还正在尝试在更加的修正、更加的强化它。那么我们使用了 PPP RTK 的技术，那么可以看到我们的所达到的精度呢，可以达到2D 情况下可以达到8厘米，3D 情况下可以达到12厘米，这样的一个精度并没有说本地提供的这样的一个服务商的精度那么好，但是它也是一个非常好的一个精度，可以在很多场景下面进行使用。同时因为使用了我们的 SSR 的这样的一个方式呢，就可以更加大规模的被用在更多的场景中。
Other PPP RTK providers will offer a similar service as well. But our recommendation is that if you need always like centimeter level centimeter, i.e. 2 centimeters, to go with the VRS services, but if 5 to 10 centimeters is good enough for your application, then SSR services are extremely interesting and the business models are extremely attractive.
那么对于不同的用户呢，我的建议是，如果你们非常的需要绝对的高精度的话，那么你们可以采用这个 VRS 这样的一个服务的系统。但是如果你们的精度要求 并没有说一定需要达到厘米级别的精度，但是同时又需要一个比较高的精度的，那么这个 PPT-RTK 这样的一个技术就可以满足你们日常的一些需求。
So to summarize what we see in the market, that there are a wave of multiband high-precision receivers which are targeted at the automotive and robotics market, because that's where the bigger potential is.
那么接下来是我的一些总结。那么首先我们可以看到有一个非常大的一个浪潮正在迈向我们的多频段的高精度的GNSS 的接收器，因为在不同的领域，特别是机器人和自动化领域，因为这是我们未来所需要的一个非常大的一个领域。
And of course, these markets expect that these receivers and the antennas which come with them are, would say, the power consumption, the size, and the affordability of them is in order to be adopted into markets such as automotive and such as robotics.
那么同时呢，自动化以及其他行业也对我们的产品所提供有非常高的要求，它是需要提供不仅仅是接收器，同时还有我们的天线，同时还需要非常高的精度和多频段的同时工作，同时也需要满足功率的限制，以及它的需要有一个非常平价的价格，因此才能够在大众的市场中被广泛使用。
The SSR corrections are seen as a scalable way. They are seen as the services that will deliver the mass market performance. In the longer run, they will supersede the older legacy OSR corrections.
那么我刚才讲到的 SSR 这种修正的方式呢，它可以使得我们的技术可以更大规模的被应用，它可以提供单一的信息给更多的场景，因此呢，有更多的机会可以使用在更多不同的场景中。我认为在长远的过程中呢，它将会取代传统的 OSR 的这样的一个修正提供方式。
However, the most important element of this is that the cost of ownership of the entire, would say, high-precision solution for navigation is reducing and will continue to reduce in the next year in order to make these new applications possible and able to flourish.
最重要的是，我们的精密高精度导航技术的价格一直都在有下降的趋势，同时我们也会更加努力的紧密的工作，使得它的价格越降越低，可以提供给更多广大的消费者以及行业的厂商们进行使用。
And I think this is very, very applicable in the world of robotics, whether it's via air or via ground. And these are very, very exciting times to be in the industry at this moment in time.
那么我相信这样的技术在我们的无人机以及机器人的领域，甚至是自动驾驶都是非常有应用的价值的。我相信，并且相信能够接下来越来越广泛的被应用在各个行业当中。
In the next months and in the next year, we'll start to see very interesting applications which rely on these high-precision technologies for navigation, such as things even a robotic lawnmower, for example, has been recently announced to use these technologies. UAVs are a prime example where it's extremely useful, ground delivery, air delivery, and this is just the start.
那么接下来我们也会看到更多各种有趣的应用使用高精度的导航系统，比如说我们所看到的有一个使用高精度导航系统的割草机，还有一些进行本地的物流的一些无人机的企业都会使用到高精度的导航系统。
So thank you very much for listening to the presentation, and thank you to Philip and to Jean for inviting me. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.
谢谢大家，我的演讲就到这里。非常感谢 Jean 和 Philip 的邀请，能够来到这里能够进行这个演讲。希望大家可以享受接下来的演讲。谢谢大家。